Hi, Jackie.
Good afternoon, Governor.
I'm still having a hard time getting used to that.
Yeah, but it's a cool one to have.
Yeah, it is. It's growing on me.
Yeah. Nice picture.
Hang on. I'm getting back on here.
Okay.
There we go.
There you are. I see the real you.
Ah. How are you?
I'm okay. How about you and everything going on with you?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
Let's see. My directory will probably go to the printer this week.
Uh-huh.
So we're good. And I
Good.
think Norma Jean sent it out to everybody kind of for final corrections.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't get my copy yet, so I don't know. I do know that I got your survey and I responded to that.
Yeah.
I would like to have it both ways because
and that was just informal among the executive team.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was almost 3-to-1. People want paper.
A lot of people don't use their phones like you and I do.
Yeah.
I rely on my phone wherever I go. I mean, my tablet and my phone.
Yeah.
They're like my right hand, basically. And for me to be able to just sit and pick it up and look for something, and somebody call me and say, "Well, do you know this number?" And it's like, "Yep, just a second." So then you can look it up for them, and it's nice to have it available.
Yeah. So anyway.
So, yeah.
So a lot more people are using the PDF version, and so it's going to be out there, so that'll be good.
Good afternoon, Vice Governor Lynn. Wait a minute, I'll give it to me.
Jackie.
Jim and second lady, Linda in the background. I see you. I'll get them right. Now, come on, it's only been a day or two, and I'm still trying to get them worked out. Hi, Lion Jan, First Lady.
Hello. I have the top protocol, but not the bottoms. They're shorts.
That's okay. I'm the same way, so don't look at. I got capris on too, so don't feel bad. I didn't put a blazer on. I've got blue and white for 4th of July. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we
got our council shirts on, so yeah.
There you go.
I figured it's a holiday weekend. Jim, if you want to take your tie off, you can, okay?
Yeah. Vice Governor Jim, if you'd like to take your tie off, please feel comfortable in doing so because it is very comfortable.
I was doing some picture shots there to send to my other brother, second vice district governor.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then that makes a difference. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to settle out on the tie.
Okay. Well, please make yourselves comfortable. The blazers can come off now.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Lion Frank Findley. He looks like he has no video. He might be joining us with just a phone. I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to hear him.
hopefully.
Lion Frank, are you there? There he is.
There we go.
Yeah,
Hi, Lion Frank.
Hi,
Morning.
Lion Frank. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
I said the same thing. It's whatever time of day we want it to be because it's that somewhere. So we're all good with that.
So who is the instructor for this session?
Yours truly.
Okay. Are you going to be sharing a screen or anything?
I will be sharing some notes. To be honest with you, I've got the book that they've provided from LCI. Normally they have for us a PowerPoint. There's no PowerPoints for presidents anymore. And I'm very disappointed with that. So what I was going to try to do for my criteria. Good afternoon, Lion Kathy. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Lion Kathy.
You're all on
No
mute.
video, Lion Kathy. Are you muted?
She's not muted.
She's not making
No.
any sounds.
Okay, we're not hearing you.
If you have questions, please, I would like for you to just go ahead and stop me wherever we're at and ask questions, because sometimes when you forget and you don't put it down, or you can lose your train of thought when we change subjects. So if you have a question, we'll go ahead and answer questions as we come to them. And then also at the end, we'll have questions and answers that we can share as well.
So Jackie,
So-
do you need to share a screen at any time? I didn't know if you were going to do that or.
At this point in time, if everybody's got their books, then I really
Okay.
won't need to share a screen.
Okay, all right.
And then we can just go ahead and leave it.
Because I haven't blocked people from sharing, so.
Okay, all right. I have it so that I can share it. Oh, in fact, I have to open it back up again because my computer rebooted itself. It had updates. But basically the only thing that I have to share is what's in the booklet.
Okay.
So if
all right.
everybody's got their
If everybody's
books,
got the booklet, that's fine. Okay.
then I don't have to, then I won't have to do any screen sharing at this point in time.
And
So we'll
I
be
just wanted to
okay.
let everybody know that this session is being recorded,
Thank you.
both in audio and video. The video file will be rather large. I'm still trying to figure out how we'll get that to people, but we'll at least have the audio of it, okay, that we can send.
Right.
And I think I can put it up to my web server and people will be able to download it from there instead of trying to send it in an email. All right?
Yeah, probably so, because there's too many people's emails get blocked because of the size.
Yeah.
One thing that you could do, Chip, is if you put the video in a Dropbox and send it to, if you want to send it to me, I can edit it and convert it into an MP4, and then upload it to a YouTube link. Do we have a
Okay,
YouTube
all right.
link?
Yeah, it's being saved as an MP4 anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, we could do that, okay, to, yeah. So,
So
yeah,
and if we have a YouTube link, then you can put it up on our YouTube.
okay, all
I
right,
don't know
yeah.
if we have one.
I do not, but we can sure create one real quick, so, and, but I do have a server for my business, so I can just post it up there and people would be able to download it directly from my server, so.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
awesome.
so,
Okay. Well, so far we were gonna have a small class, and it's gonna be okay too. But I would have hoped that there would have been more coming in. I also am president this year for my club again, so I'm representing 4Ls today too, as well as instructing.
And I'm representing Hudson Bayonet Point.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Linda.
I can represent Bradenton.
well, before we get started here, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for taking time out on a Sunday afternoon, a holiday weekend Sunday afternoon, and for being involved in Lions leadership training. It's a great tribute to you that you have decided that you have taken on your position as president, and I thank you for that. You are an important member of our organization. And I would also like to thank you for participating in this new version of leadership training, which I hope will become more the norm. I think if we get more people involved, and it saves hours of driving, and I think it'll really help out. So you all are cutting edge. You're all part of the adventure team. So thank you all for being here. So, and so for that, Jackie, I'm going to shut up now. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Governor. And since we have our district GLT chair, Lion Linda, would you like to say a few words before we get into any further in training at this point in time?
No, just I'm really encouraged by the possibilities of training online. Doing virtual training is pretty exciting. And I agree with the district governor. I think that it could very well mark a new wave for the future, which is pretty awesome. So thank y'all
cool.
very much for being here.
Thank you. Vice Governor Jim, would you like to have any comments before we open?
No, I think my
Further?
district governor took the words right out of my mouth. We got some great possibilities here, and I tell you, I appreciate all that you're doing, Jackie, for these new incoming leaders. And great job, gal. Great job.
Thank you. Okay. it looks like there's just going to be the so far that this is all that we have that's joined. I know Lion David might pick up and join and because he's sitting across from me once he gets.
Got my own
Oh,
stuff to worry
he's
about.
worrying about his own stuff, so I thought maybe he might be, but that's okay. First off, let me go ahead and for those of you who don't know me, I'm past council chair Jackie Cameron, and I've been a member of the Lions organization for 39 years.
Wow.
Governor Chip, you've got me beat. But you were here a little bit before I was. But in actuality, I go back to the Lions way far back from there, because what made me become a Lion and who I am today is because of what the Lions did for me as a child. The Lions provided me with eyeglasses when I was a child. And had it not been for the Lions, I would have been blind today. I have been legally blind at one point in time in my life, and because of the research that the Lions did over the years with RK surgeries and laser surgeries, I was able to have my vision pretty much restored because of the surgeries that I had. And mine were done the archaic way, because mine were done with diamond point blades. Today they're doing lasers and things that are just phenomenal. But I'm blessed because of what the Lions did for me. And I want to thank you for what you do as Lions, because without you being here and what we have, we would not be able to have people like you and me involved with our organization today. And I want to thank you for the services that you all provide as well. So with that being said, my email address, for those of you who do not have it, is lionsweetpea, LIONSWEETPEA @msn.com. My cell phone number, if you would like to have it, is 813-601-0897. You also have a phone mentor after our class is finished today, and she will be Lion Bev Flynn. She is with the Venice Lions Club, and her cell phone number is 941-773-5705. And her email address is lionbevflynn, FLYNN, @AOL.com. Now you can feel free to reach out to either herself or me, or even Lion Linda, the governor or the vice governors. We are all here to help you. So any questions that you might have that come up, please feel free to let one of us know. You can text, you can email, either way for any of us, or phone call. And that's the easiest way to get in touch with all three of us. So what I'd like to go ahead and ask everybody to do is we're going to do the, we're going to cover what the club president and the first vice president, the requirements that are set forth by Lions Clubs International. So everybody has got their ebooks, and I'm going to kind of skim through that. And Lion Steve Haynes, thank you for coming. Welcome. And I know that we'll have some stragglers, so we'll bring everybody back up to speed as we're going along. And Lion Steve, if you can hear me, please let me know what club you're from, as well as if you are holding the office of president this year. And I don't know that he's muted. No, he just has no video. His audio should be there. But what we're going to do is just cover some points on what the Lions Clubs International wants us to cover with you as presidents. I know that we have new presidents here. Lion Kathy and Lion Frank, have you held the office of president before?
Yes, in Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you. Lion Frank?
No, I have not.
Okay.
This is my first time.
Congratulations to all of you. And Lion Steve, if you can hear me, are you the incoming are you the president this year for your club? Okay, we'll go on, and when he can join us, and we'll go ahead and cover it from here. Okay, I know that when I became president last year, things did change a little bit with Lions Clubs International, because things have come updated over time, where they've updated a little bit of the criteria. Technology has made a lot of things different compared to what they used to be years ago. So what I'd like to do is just go through some of the things, and I'm going to highlight them here. Like I said, if we have questions, please stop me, and I'm going to just go through the book and kind of highlight some things. If you've read through the book, how many of you have already read through the book?
I
Lion
did.
Kathy, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, Lion Steve, good afternoon. Your audio is not working, Lion Steve. Lion Frank, have you had a chance to read through the book yet?
Yes.
Good. Okay, awesome. Okay, and Lion Steve will get your answer when you, will you hold up your hand if you've read the Incoming President's book, Lion Steve? He's not able to answer. I think that's a hand up. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Are you the incoming president this year? If yes, please hold your hand up. Okay, thank you. And we'll
Jackie,
get
he's
your
incoming president of Bradenton.
Bradenton. Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure we had them all. Okay, so we're going to, just like I said, flip through the book a little bit. If there's questions, or if you've read it and you came up with any questions that you might have, let's go ahead and start with them. First off, we're going to tell you what you do as the president. And the president is basically, you are going to lead your club. And your vice president will help assist you with whatever needs to be done when you're not there, as well as anything you might need assistance with. You can also call upon your past presidents and your immediate past president especially for any help that you might need also to be able to have. But what we're going to have you to do is, as a president, you're not going to demand people, or you're not going to specifically tell people exactly what they're doing. You're there to guide them. You are their advisor to this club. You are going to be, even though you are the primary head figure for the club, you will be the one that everybody's going to come to for answers, yes. So if you don't have the information in front of you, then there's a lot of resources that you can go ahead and get that are available to you. And if you've not already watched the video as well on the Lions Learning Center, that's also another avenue that you can go ahead and pick up information as well. But as you do this, as your year starts as your presidency, I know that this year we've got committees are going to be a little bit different because we don't have the activities that we've had in the past. So what you'll need to do is you will actually appoint your committee chairs. You'll guide the committee chairs for any project or anything that you have coming up. You will be able to have your secretary make certain that the agendas are done. If you don't do the agenda yourself, your secretary will also be your right-hand person. You'll be going to your secretary a lot to do a lot of things for you. We do our meetings online, and instead of the secretary doing the agenda, I, as president, have done my agenda for the last year, and I'll continue doing that this year. What'll happen is that I put out the agenda, send it to everybody, and then that way let them know that at the meeting coming up, if there's anything that they would like to have added to the agenda, to please let me know prior to that. And then that way we'll be able to make certain that we cover any items that are needed to be covered at that particular meeting. That way you'll be able to keep control of your meeting. You'll want to make certain that when you set down your time for your meeting that you pretty much stay within your timeline. I know that with the Zoom meetings, you're going to keep your meetings pretty much in queue to an hour, if not shorter, because that's what most meetings are set for, is for an hour. I know that sometimes when we get to the meetings, we can actually have a lot more conversations depending upon what's going on and be able to be a little bit longer in our meetings. So if things start to get out of control, you definitely want to make certain that you kind of keep control of the conversations in the background, so that that way you could keep maintain control of your meeting, because that's basically what you are going to do. Okay. You're going to be setting the goals for your club this year, if you haven't already done so. A lot of times before you come in as president, you would be setting your goals, just like when the governor comes in and the vice governors come in. They are required to set goals well prior to their year in advance. So If you haven't already done so, you might want to look at what was accomplished over the last couple of years and see if that's going to work for you this year as part of your accomplishments as your goals this year. There's plenty of training on SMART goals if you have not been, if you're not familiar with SMART goals, or if you've never set goals before for yourself to be able to be in the club position. You'll be conducting the meetings. You'll be preparing actively to participate in zone meetings. Zone meetings are something where you as president are going to be called upon to give a report for your particular club for what it's done for that past quarter. You can prepare the report yourself, or you can even ask your secretary to do it for you. I know it depends upon the club who gives the report, sometimes the president, sometimes the secretary. But you are actually requested to be at all zone meetings and all cabinet meetings as the chief officer of your club. I know that our district meetings are going to be a little bit different this year as well. I know the governor has got some of them set where they are going to be in person as long as we're able to conduct them that way. If not, we will have to do them virtually, which we've done before as well. But you as the president of your club will be asked to attend these particular meetings. It's also nice to be able to go to other zone meetings and share what you're doing as well with other clubs. Robert's Rules, that's your #1 tool. If you don't have a copy of Robert's Rules, they're pretty much the same, they stay standard. But if you don't have a copy of them, it's nice to have a keep around because it's always able to go there for the reference. You want to become familiar with your club constitution and bylaws. How many of your clubs actually have their individual constitution and bylaws other than just what is set forth? I know Plant City does. Yes, I know that you do. Because of the majority of them, if you don't have one set forth for your club, then you go by the standard constitution and bylaws of Lions Clubs International.
Right.
And if you don't have copies of them, they are available online. I know that we've printed the book out, but when you go into your booklet, if you have a copy of it in PDF or you've accessed it from online, it is highlighted in blue and it's a link that you can actually click on the standard club constitution and bylaws and be able to pull a copy of it up for those of you who do not have it. So there's a standard form, and that's basically what you're going to go ahead and apply and abide by. So the club president, as we were saying, is a chief executive officer of the club. You will control hosting the meetings. You'll call the meetings to order, fulfill the program, and then you'll service the work of the agenda. You'll coordinate all the efforts of all the board members and who are there present, and your chairpersons as well who are there and present at your meeting, as well as the activities and anything that your club does. You'll also have to help promote the fellowship. And right now with fellowship, we need it as much as we can get it. I know that, how many of your clubs normally don't meet during the summer months? If you hold your hand up, please. Okay, so every club meets during the summer months? Okay,
No, we do.
you're shaking
Safety
your head
Harbor
no.
does not.
Safety Harbor does not. Okay, I know Plant City does. Lion Kathy, does your club meet during the summer?
Yeah, well, we might, for July and August, we just have board meetings.
Right.
And then September, we go back to general population and board meetings.
Okay, I know. And Lion Linda, yours, do you meet regularly during the summer too? You're muted. There you go.
Traditionally, we have not met in the summer, but we are, because our membership has grown this year, we are
Right.
able to start meeting through the summer, and we're meeting twice a month, all through the summer.
Okay, terrific. Okay, our club is doing something a little bit different. Normally in July and August, we normally go dormant, but because of what's been going on, what we have done is we are going to be hosting a Zoom meeting on the regular board meeting night, which would be the second meeting that we would normally hold. So you'll need to make certain that everybody is kept in contact through the summer months then, so that way everybody is kept up to par as to what's going on. I'm glad to hear that there are clubs that are still going to be meeting on a regular basis. I know some of us have got to the point where we will be doing some Zooms as well as some physical meetings as well. So that's basically what your criteria is. Now, your first vice president not only serves as an honorary leader ready to serve in your position if you're not available, but they're also a catalyst to annually assess the club's activities, as well as then implement any new goals that you might have for the fiscal year, for the incoming year, for your year. If you have a second vice president, and I know that some clubs do and some clubs don't, they will also work to be able to work with the president and the first vice president in the event that someone's not able to do or be able to help overlook the committees. A lot of times your first vice president will help overlook the membership and be part of the membership team, the membership committee for your club, and the second vice president will be over the leadership and training for your club, just like your vice governors do as well. Your club secretary, we've kind of touched base a little bit on what their responsibilities are, and those will become a little bit more familiar in the secretary's class. It's going to be held at 2:30 this afternoon. And for the secretaries, there will be another mentor that they will have available to them as well. Your club treasurer, the club treasurer, he or she will also be the one who's going to keep charge of your books. They'll make certain that the dues are collected. Any bills that are needing to be paid are done by your board of directors, or anything needing to be approved. They will be also done at your board meetings. And basically, if you have a board meeting, that's where your actions take place, and you take that back to your membership. So you don't have a full board meeting at both of those meetings. I'm sorry, my cat just hit there we go. I have a cat over here that thinks as long as I'm sitting here that she's the one who's getting attention. So you'll see her come back and forth. So the club treasurer will make certain that everything is done. And what I was starting to say was, you prefer to do your board meetings and your board actions when you have your regular meeting. The reason being is because you might have a guest there, and sometimes you don't want your guests to know everything that's going on in your club, that financial, and there's other things that might need to be discussed that you might want to do without somebody being there. If you have a guest, what's suggested to do for your agenda is let them go on first. If they're a lion, that's a different story, because sometimes they will like to sit and listen to what you're doing, to take back ideas from your club as well, to share with their club as what your club is doing and working on. So you'll be able to do those, taking care of those at that point in time. The club, anytime you have a guest, you basically limit them to in your meetings. Normally they're given 15 to 20 minutes. If it's a club project, or if it's something that's Lions related, you might give them a little bit more time depending upon how your club is reacting to the speaker. And then there's information as to how your guests are treated as well in your book, but I'm not going to completely cover all of that at this point in time either. Your book also goes into every single one of the positions that are in your club that are requested, that are to be fulfilled by Lions Clubs International, and those should have already been fulfilled. In the event that there is something of one of those that has not been fulfilled at this time, you as president can appoint someone to fulfill that position. But make certain that if you do appoint someone, that it's going to be someone who will be listening, who will be actually working for you and will want to assist with you. Okay, Lion Jeanette, I'm going to answer yours about the agenda. It's better to have an agenda for every meeting. Even if you don't have, if it's not your board meeting, it's a regular meeting, it's better to walk in with an agenda, even if you have a speaker. That way you can keep it on time. Because I know with your club, you keep it to an hour. And once the hour's done, they're gone. So you want to make certain that you can control your meeting and timing, so that way your guest or whoever is there will be given the appropriate time and everybody can leave on time. Because I know with that, it makes it a little bit different. Okay. You'll move forward with the plan of what you've sent out and what you're trying to accomplish with your goals this year. There's some things that you can have that will also assist you in tools. one of them being the Club Quality Initiative, which we call the CQI. And that basically was also given a new name. And the CQI is basically where you have got tools, what they call a toolbox, and it gives you information as to where to recruit and how to recruit new members. The blueprint for a stronger club to help you go ahead and set up your goals if you've not already set them. Your Club Your Way, that's going to give you ideas for ways that you can run your club a little bit more efficiently. One of them being that we've just discussed is setting forth an agenda. I know that I take my agenda, and what I'll do is I'll copy from one to the next, so that way it's easier, because once you're copying from one to the other, you're able to keep what you had from the last meeting and be able to move forth and put that into old business, setting up your new information under new business, so that way you can continue with an agenda and you'll be able to make certain that you don't miss out on anything. And then that way too, if there's something that was left on table for discussion at a later meeting, you'll also have it in your notes, because you would have probably made notes on a copy of your agenda. And it's easier sometimes for the secretaries to go ahead, and if they have a copy of an agenda, for them to go ahead and make their notes on the agenda as well. Ours is a little bit different. Our secretary does shorthand, so she sits there and she goes on her way. But I know for myself, it's a lot easier to keep that agenda as a guide, because it helps me keep on track. Okay. How many of you have already set up your accounts on my LCI? Okay.
Yes,
Line
I have.
Steve, and Line Steve, and Line Frank,
Yes,
and Line
yes.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Everybody set? Awesome. Okay. So you know, when you sign into my LCI, you have two options. You have the one that you're going to go to the reporting section, and then you have the other section where you can log into the My Lion app. And so you'll be able to log in with that particular login to both particular parts of it. Also, you'll be able to do and help do your service reporting as well. You have a club admin to be able to help you do that, as well as your secretary. But you yourself can also do the reports in the My Lion app, because that's where your service activities are pulled from. So that's something that we've done over the past couple of years, so that way it makes it a little easier for us and for Lions Clubs International for them to be able to pull the information to get it from your club, so that way everything is more up to date. Whereas before, years ago, we used to have to sit and write out a carbon copy, and so everybody pretty much remembers carbon copies. But when we had carbon copies back then, you had to write through 8 copies of carbon. So by the time you got to the one that was supposed to be kept in the club records, it was pretty washed out. But it was something that we've done over the past. Now all you do is carbon copy somebody in an email, and it's done. But when you go into the My LCI and the My Lion app, those particular ones, we can look at those, and Governor Chip can actually pull information, and so can Vice Governor Jim and Lion Linda. We can all pull information as to see what the clubs are actually doing in the district, how many service hours that they've actually completed for the last month, for the last quarter, for the last couple of years, actually. Those of you who don't have the app on your smartphone might want to put it on your smartphone if you have not yet done so. It's easier, because that way if you're doing a meeting, or if you're wanting to put something on the My Lion app to share, you can do it by there, just clip, and it's tap, tap, and now it's done. It's made it a lot easier from over the period of time since we started implementing My Lion, to be able to make it so that it's a lot more user-friendly than what it used to be. And when you used to go into My LCI to try to do a report, you had so many drop downs that you could get lost in a heartbeat. And before you were even halfway done trying to make a report, your computer was already dying out on you. It says, nope, we can't do anymore. So this is something that we're doing in today. So you want to be able to navigate that comfortably. If you've not already done so, I ask and suggest that you do that. And since everybody's already logged into it, we're good, and we don't have to look at getting anybody logged into it at this time. So if you have any other information that you need to know about My Lion, please let me know. or let Lion Linda know, because she is our GLT chair for the district. But I've also been the trainer for it because it is tied in with the GST, the Global Service Team, and I've been involved with it from day one. So I can provide help with anything that you need on the My Lion app, except for resetting passwords. And that has to be done. If you can't do it yourself online, then you'll have to reset the password with Lions Clubs International. So you should be able to do that. They do also have technical support there. Now, we have had within the last 2 years, the Lions Clubs International has also added one other position called the club administrator. And it's also to make it a little bit easier for the whole team, for your president, for you as president, to be able to have continuity so that they can take a little bit of the pressure off of you doing some of the reports, or the secretary if they happen to not be able to do a report. Sometimes there's even clubs that don't have, the secretaries don't even have access to a smartphone or a computer even still, or an iPad. We do have a few of them out there. So as the administrator, that person can do the monthly reports for you. They can do any reports for you as well. They can log in and do that. So they can also go in and make payments on your accounts should you need anything paid, your dues paid, or anything like that. A lot of us have now started to use e-checks, which I'm sure that your treasurer is familiar with, and it's something that if you haven't heard about it, it's something to make it easier for your club to pay their dues. So those are another thing to make it easier for us in today's world. Okay. We've talked a little bit about the monthly meetings that you have and your events, your board of directors meetings, your service activities, and your assigning of committee chairs and your committee meetings. Now, your committee meetings can be held either during a regular meeting if you take a break. They can be held after your meeting, before your meeting, or whenever it's convenient for your committee chair to host that meeting. You can attend that meeting, but you're not going to be the one to run that meeting. The committee chair is responsible for running that particular meeting. So your input would definitely be accepted and appreciated if you do go to a committee meeting, if they're held separately, other than on at your club meeting or on a Zoom meeting. But you should be invited to all of their meetings for anything that you have going on, so that you are actually on top of all of the information that's being shared around your club. And you can make certain that way too, that what is shared with one is shared with all. Okay. We've talked about the zone meetings. The Model District Governor Advisory Committee meeting, we've kind of done some of those already for the governor. The governor has already hosted a couple of those, but those are also part of what is done at your zone meeting. Your governor will ask you to come aside and hold like a separate board meeting with you, so that way he knows what each club is doing and that each club is functioning the way they should as well. So he might want to ask for a 5-minute or 10-minute before the meeting or after the meeting. So whichever he prefers, then you would actually accommodate him accordingly. Let's see. We've talked about, now there are clubs that will be hosting the zone meetings. There's a guide for that. So the zone chair will contact you if you are going to be hosting the zone meeting for the club. And then they'll put together what their agenda is, and they're the ones who actually put the agenda forth for the zone meetings. That's one you don't have to do. You basically would open the meeting, turn it over to the zone chair. If you have a meal or if it's done by Zoom meeting, then you turn the meeting over to them. At that point in time, the meeting is turned back to you once they get done with their portion of the meeting, and then you close the meeting. And if anybody has anything else that they would like to do to add to the meeting at the time. Your annual club business and events, we've talked about those. Events are a little bit tougher this year. I know that we participated, normally our club, in the 4th of July parade, and of course there was not one. So that's one of our community projects, is that we actually at the 4th of July, they have a run prior to the parade, and we handed out cold, wet towels, hand wash rag, like a heavy duty wash rag or towel, and we soaked them in ice water, and we handed them to all the runners and to the participants in the parade because of the heat. We didn't hand out bottles of water. We handed out a wet rag to cool, like a cooling towel. And they were always very welcomed by everybody in that particular thing. So that was one of our major events that we couldn't have this year. A lot of the festivals that we've all been part of for so many years, they've also kind of fallen by the wayside because we can't have everybody getting together at this time. So our hostings of a lot of our projects this year is going to be a lot harder because we're not going to be able to stand out and always do a candy day like we've done in the past, or a white cane day. And those actually are going to hurt our club budgets quite a bit because we're not going to have the income that we normally would. So there's things that you're going to have to do a little bit to be able to work around some of those. And there's a lot of people that can come up with some nice projects that you can still do even though you're not going to be hosting a regular meeting. You'll be asked to attend the cabinet meetings, which we've talked about, as well as the multiple district conventions and multiple district conferences or multiple district meetings that are normally going to be held online at this point in time. We were going to have one scheduled for August. We were going to have an awards luncheon in Orlando, but I understand that it has since been canceled. Which I'm sorry to say, and we were all kind of looking forward to that one. That one was going to be the first get together that we were going to have as a multiple district in quite some time. You'll also be able to help make certain that the forms are filled out. You'll oversee that, making sure that their delegates are chosen from your club and be able to set those in for your district, your multiple district, as well as international convention. There will be credentials for each one of those particular events that will need to be filed and handled within your district as well before it goes to the multiple district, as well as international convention for those who do attend international. Do we have any questions so far? Is everybody okay so far?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so then one of the next things that you'll do is actually you're going to create your club meetings, which we've talked about. There's a strategic plan to make for the coming year, and that's in the book. And it goes into more detail from what I've done. I basically talk an overview of this particular book. So if you haven't read it, you can go back in and read the book itself and highlight. What I like to do is go through and highlight it so that way you'll be able to apply some of these things to your meetings. Some of your club meetings, some of the ways, one of the things that I like to talk about a little bit for your membership is the community needs assessment. How many of you have heard of what that is? And do you know what that is?
No, I have not.
No? Okay. It's part of the toolbox for the Club Quality Initiative. And what that does is it gives each individual an opportunity to write down some names as to who they have in their contacts or they have in their personal lives that they might consider possibly asking as a member. And sometimes your membership chair, instead of them, maybe they don't feel comfortable asking them to come to a meeting. And what you'll do is you'll put down on this list and turn it over to the membership chair, or you as the president can collect them and turn them over to your membership chair and have them call some of these individuals and invite them to a meeting, especially if you're going to have a special speaker or something that might be of interest to that particular individual, or even having them come as a speaker to your club. If you can get sometimes a person to come in as a speaker to your club, a lot of times it will open the door for them because they'll sit down and they'll listen to what you've got going on and they'll say, you know, maybe I want to become part of that. How do I become a lion? Or how can I learn more about lions? It gives you an open door. And it gives them a share so that way you can contact individuals that they might know, but are afraid to ask them to come to a meeting. Because, you know, sometimes when you ask a person, are you able to come to a meeting? You know, you might get discouraged after you've asked a time or two. But this is to help you be able to get another person to help ask that person as well. And like I said, if you have them come in as a program or be able to share a little bit, or if you have a program coming in that might be of interest to them, it helps to be able to broaden your membership and open your membership up a little bit more. And let's see, you're going to oversee your board meetings. We've talked about that. We've talked about the zone meetings, your annual events. Now, you as president also, how many of you know that as president, you can induct new members?
Yeah.
Were you aware of that? You as a
Yes,
president,
matter of fact, we
okay,
do. We just did
okay,
that.
good, good. You as president are able to induct a member into your club. So that's not something that I mean, it's nice to have a guest come, yes. And when the governor comes, it's nice to ask the governor to do it. That's always been a privilege for a governor or a vice governor when they come into your meetings to be able to have that honor to induct the new members. So, but you as president can also induct them. So if you have somebody who's come into your meeting that day and they say, well, I can't be here to the next meeting when the governor's going to be here, you can say, well, we can induct you today. As long as they've been voted in by the board of directors and accepted as a member, you can induct them at that meeting. You don't have to wait till the next meeting when you have a special guest to induct them. So that's something that you have the honor of doing as well as a president. So let's see, and there's follow-up for the meetings. We've talked about that. We've talked about your annual events. We've talked about the district and the multiple district. We will be sharing when the governor puts out his directory. You'll be able to have a copy of all of the upcoming meetings, the zone meetings that had been scheduled. I know you'll have to check on them to make certain that they are still going to be held at the locations that they had set forth, because sometimes they will be changing with the things that are going on today. If they were hosting them at a restaurant, the restaurant might not be able to accommodate the meeting. So before you go to make certain that you're going one, especially if it's not your particular zone that the meetings are being held in, you want to make certain that it is still going to be held. Contact that zone chair. There will be contact information for each of those people in the district governor's directory when he gets them out. He's also going to provide them as PDF copies so that way it's easier for you to keep it on your phone. I know that it's easy to have it there because I can pull up my phone anywhere I'm at and be able to provide any information when anybody asks me a question. So those are some of the things that you'll be able to do. You'll need to also share that information with your club, because if you have you need to specifically have your secretary and your president, you as president, will need to attend the zone meetings and the cabinet meetings. Any other meeting, any other officer that you have that goes with you are also given credit to you for your clubs in attendance, as well as any members. I know that it's a lot more fun to go as a group from your club than it is to just go as one or two. So it's nice to go to visitations to other clubs as well. You can help to organize a visitation if you wanted to. Make certain that the visitation for an official visit, to be considered an official visit, there needs to be 3 members of the club in attendance from your club. If you lose your gavel as president this year, it's going to be your responsibility to go to the club where it got confiscated to be able to retrieve that particular gavel. And be prepared if you have it stolen for any fines that might be imposed upon you. I know that a lot of the presidents will keep them in their pockets, wear them around their neck. A lot of women, and Lion Kathy, you're laughing.
Yeah.
Because you've probably seen where I'm going to say the next place that most women put it is right in front, and they'll stick it down their shirts. So that way their gavels are not confiscated. But we have had them where they have confiscated them even still. You know, there's a lot of different ways of people getting your gavel. So it's a lot of fun. And don't get upset if somebody does steal your gavel, because you are really vulnerable when you have an open meeting and you have other clubs represented at your meeting. You are very, very vulnerable because they want you to come to their club. So that's the whole purpose. And it was a whole lot of fun. Years ago, we used to have we had some of the best thieves in this district. I being one, Lion David's one of the ones now he's notoriously known now as one of the thieves. I usually, because when I'm going when I go to a meeting, if I'm at the head table or if I'm doing official visit there for training or inducting or whatever, I won't steal your gavel. But if I'm not there on official visit, I'm there just as a member of another club. You're fair game. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that I've seen them where they put them on leather straps. They wear them around their necks. It just depends upon the individual. But
We have
yes,
ours on a chain
yes,
attached to the bell.
exactly. Exactly. So yours is there's a little bit harder now, but the thing is, I've seen many a bell be also confiscated at the same time. So yeah, if they're good at it, then you just be prepared. But it's a lot of fun. It's all done in fun and fellowship. So don't take it offensively, because usually after it's gone from your meeting, and then you can blame it on your tail twister. I mean, not your tail twister, your lion tamer, because your lion tamer should have been doing their job. And that meant that they were not doing their job to the extent of what they should have been. But yeah, it's done in fun and fellowship. So just be prepared to pay at least a $5 fine. Now, unless you go to Plant City and you steal Bob Folks' hat, when you steal Bob Folks' hat, be prepared, because you're going to get a couple bucks on that one. But it's done in fun. So don't take it offensively. And then at the end of your year, you'll also then be transitioning over into the new officers once you've gotten to the end of your year, so that way you'll be able to be there to help anybody and the next person who's coming in to take over the realm of being the president of your club. I know that there's times where, for example, like this year, we're repeating, and we don't always repeat our president because we've lost several members. We've come into the problem that we've not been able to have somebody move around as easily into the position. So, but we've got people, all of our members are involved, and they're all and we all hold board positions. I wanted to touch a little bit on LCIF, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Melvin Jones Fellow. And everybody says it's an award, and it's granted, it is presented as an award, but it's a fellowship. And what it is that for the funds that we give to Lions Clubs International for their foundation, that's what they use to help us in emergency cases and for our grants that are fulfilled. It's a fellowship that can be bestowed upon a member of your community, and it does not have to be a Lion to receive a Melvin Jones Fellow. Even though it is such an honor, and we know what the honor is to be able to have that be presented and be bestowed upon us, it is also presented to members of your community. So if you have someone who is not able to become a member of your club and you want to honor them, that's also something that can be done. The grants that you receive back from Lions Clubs International Foundation, when you do your reports in the My Lion app, if you have, for example, that you're looking for a grant other than an emergency grant where you want a matching grant for a project, they're going to look to see what you've been involved with from your club to see how much that they will be allowing for you for that particular grant as well. There's specific paperwork to be filled out for the several different kinds of grants that are available. But that's something that would basically, you can do that later. And I really ask that you look into the LCIF grants for your club projects. If you have a big project coming up and you need funding and you can't get it all by your community, because they do matching grants. And look into naming a Melvin Jones Fellow if your club has not named one in a while. See if there's a way that you can honor somebody in your club if you feel that somebody has done an extensive job for your club over the year. I know that there are clubs that name one every year. So, and it's kind of like you have a little bit of an input at that point in time when that happens as to who you would like to suggest or recommend for who you think should be considered for that award as well. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of membership, a lot of awards that are able to be achieved throughout our districts and our multiple district from our clubs. And for those of you who don't know them, they will be in the district governor's directory, as well as we have them available on our district and multiple district websites. So if you have questions on those, please feel free to ask either myself, Lion Linda, or Lion Bev, or any of the cabinet of the governor. We'll all be able to help you get that information so that you can have them. Because a lot of them have a nice pin that they present and can honor you with, or they can honor a lion with in your club throughout the year. When you also sign into the My Lion app, you'll also have access to a third avenue that some people didn't know that they could get into, and that is the club supply store. You can order it through your personal credit card. You don't have to order it through the club, and then you can pay for whatever items you want. At one point in time, only the secretary could go in and order items from the club supply store. Now, any lion who wants to order something from Club Supplies, if you find a shirt or a ball cap or something there that you particularly want, you can actually go ahead and open up to that and go in and peruse the store. There's a lot of really cool things in there. They've got a lot of neat shirts. There's ties, there's jackets, there's all kinds of things in there. There's water bottles, even water coolers and things of that nature. But you can actually use your credit card and pay for them, and the club is not responsible for anything, and they don't see the billing on it either. And you can have them shipped directly to you, paying for them by your credit card at the same time. So that gives you the opportunity to do that. If you have something special that you have that you might want to present a lion for doing specific work for you throughout the year, look at the Lions Club store, because it's got the Lions logo on it, and it's really nice to present something from there. If you wanted to do something other than what the club provides, it's a nice place to look and have it with the Lions logo on it. And we're pretty much close to what we've had here in the book and covering. Does anybody have any questions so far, or would like to add anything so far? Because we're getting close to the last 10-minute mark, and we're willing to ask you for your input at this time or questions if you'd like to add anything. Lion Linda, are you going to send out reviews for the training classes to the Lions who were in attendance?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And I also will send out to all the presidents that the community needs assessment. I'll send that information out to them so that they have it in hand.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that, because that's one of the things that I think that could very well be a very good tool for membership, especially with the way things are with our contact and the way today we are.
Yeah, it'll go to the president and to the club membership chairs.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, Lion Jeanette.
So you talked about official visit and that 3 members had to go. So I could go to any club meeting. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Is it protocol to contact the president and say, hey, I'm coming to visit, or just show up?
In today's world, I would call first,
right?
Just to make sure. Even though if it's only 1 or 2 that go for a club visit, that's okay. What Lions International considers an official visit would be 3 members. And where I'm saying official visit, we used to have what we called a Better Clubs contest also years ago. And that was part of it, to do an official visit. So you had to have more than the 1 or 2 people going to other clubs. So you're welcome to go to any club as a visitor. Okay. And if you wanted to go by yourself, that's fine. If you wanted to take 1 person with you, then that's okay too. And I don't see an issue with you not going to any meetings, because it's a nice way to learn as to what some of the other clubs are doing. And then that's like with the zone meeting. That's a sharing meeting, so that way if you see something going on that you like, that maybe your club, or you might think that your club might gain from, and take it back and share it. And we've all heard about the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum. That's all about sharing. And that's something that we'll talk about more at another session, but I wanted to mainly kind of hit what we've done here today. So yes, a visitation you can do as often as you like and as many clubs as you like.
Okay.
And you're able to do that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Comments? If not, if you'll please, when you receive the critique form from Lion Linda, what you felt about my training today, please let me know. I'll be more than glad to improve on anything. If you please let me know where I do need to, if you feel I need to have improvement, please let me know. I do take critique well. And if there's anything that you could help or you need help with in the future, I am available, and I am always there to help any Lion with whatever they need. Usually I get back with you in a very short period of time. If you text me, if I'm at work, I will let you know that I can't contact you or give you the information until I get off of work, because I do work from 9 to 4. But other than that, I'm usually available anytime, day or night, in the evenings. Anything that you have questions on, please feel free to contact me, and I'll be more than glad to assist you. Vice Governor Jim, would you like to say anything before we close? And then I'll turn it over. We'll turn it back over to the governor before we close and let him close with his closing remarks.
No, a good session, Lion Jackie. I mean, you covered a lot of information in that short period of time.
Yeah.
And as I look at everyone that's on the screen, to include myself, that's a lot to pack in on one. So as Lion Jackie has suggested, visit other clubs, ask your district leadership, call Jackie or send her a text and say, hey, what about this? Somebody mentioned this to me. If you don't know, ask, and we'll be able to we will get you the answer to it if we got to go all the way to LCI.
Right.
Okay. But good presentation, Jackie.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Lion Linda, is there anything else you would like to say?
I would just again recommend that you keep your ebook, your president's ebook, with you, especially if this is your first time being the president, and refer back to that, because it does have a lot of information in it that will really help you. If there's anything that I can do to help, let me know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Governor?
Boy, I tell you what, everybody's kind of covered it already. But past Council Chair Jackie, you did an excellent job. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
GLT Linda, excellent job setting this up. We appreciate it. And Jim, great having you here this afternoon. You know, I tell you, the one take-home thing I think about being president is the agenda. Have that agenda, stick to it, and make your meetings fun, okay? That, you know, if they cease to be fun, well, we just don't come, okay? Right. So, you know, there was a saying, you know, the fun, fellowship, and fulfillment are the great things about a great Lions Club, okay? You might want to add food in there too, okay? Fun, fellowship, food.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's about the right number of F's too, Jeff.
Yeah.
what's that?
That's about the right number of F's. I mean, in school.
Anyway, we thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us this afternoon. And once again, if we can be of any help to you, call Jackie, call Linda, call Jim, call me. Okay, I'm available all the time. If I can't get to you right away, I will get back to you at the soonest possible moment. All right. So, and you guys we're going to have a great year. I mean, we're going to have some challenges, but it's how we can overcome those challenges is how we become better Lions and better people. So thank you all again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
On
you.
with the adventure, Chip.
Okay. All righty. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thank
You
you,
too.
everybody.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jackie.
everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. That's us.
There we go. We're out of here.
Okay, we'll be back at about 20 after 2, okay?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
See
Thank
ya.
you, District Governor.